We're here. Good morning, Ugly Mug marketing friends and followers from near and far. We're excited to be here with you today. As we're waiting for people to hop on and join us, let us know what you're sipping on this morning. Are you I need 20 ounces of water before I can do anything in the morning or before I have my coffee? I am like, honestly, I should have done a refill, but I am sipping some coffee. This is from a local roaster here in Raleigh. I am coming to y'all live from the Nest, which is a co-working space right downtown Raleigh on Fayetteville Street. And I'm joined today by two of our coordinators, Tim and Abby. Welcome, Tim and Abby.
Howdy.
Where are y'all coming to us from?
I am in Baton Rouge, Louisiana today.
I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee today.
Yay. Tim actually just recently moved to Chattanooga, so we're excited as he's getting settled in his new home.
That's right. Same.
He's got a lovely background. Y'all just admire the bookshelf in the background.
And ignore the boxes out of frame that you can't see.
Exactly. So if you're joining us live here, thank you so much. Tell us in the comments, are you drinking coffee? Are you drinking tea? Last month when we did this webinar, I was reading my notes and I had a vanilla latte from Pine State, which I highly recommend Pine State. Yesterday, I actually got coffee from 42 in Lawrence, which is my all-time favorite coffee shop here in Raleigh. I got what they call the Taj Mahal. And it's got like honey in it, and I think a little vanilla, but then they put this like cayenne pepper like seasoning on it. So it's got like a fun kick to it, guys, but nothing too crazy.
That's funny. There's actually a musician named Taj Mahal, and he has a song titled Honeybee. That's a coincidence. I don't know.
Big coincidence.
Might have been inspired by him.
I know. I mean, what if the drink was inspired by him?
I think it's Honeybee. Maybe it's Honey something. I don't know, but
awesome.
Good song.
Well, cool. We'll be dropping the link to that Spotify song in the comments. Cool. We'll just wait here another minute or so, wait for some more people to hop on and join us. Would also love to know where you're tuning in from. So I know we've got Carol watching. Who else did I see joining us on here? We've got Holly. Welcome, Holly. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us live. Whether you're watching this live or watching after the fact, you're watching the replay, definitely still tell us where you're tuning in from and what you've got in your coffee mug this morning. Or maybe you're watching this at midnight. Maybe you're side hustling, right? And that's the only time that you got alone to be able to watch this webinar. And maybe you're drinking Red Bull. I don't know. Do you guys like energy drinks? Are you guys energy drinks?
I do, yeah. I'm kind of particular though. I pretty much only like Red Bull.
Okay. I used to like Red Bull when I was like in high school. That my mom was like, don't drink that. And then I would just like sneak it and drink it anyway. There could have been worse things, right?
That's right.
Red Bull.
I feel like sometimes I drink too much coffee, same effect.
100%. Coffee can definitely give you wings as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, let's dive into it, y'all. You're not here to hear us talk about Red Bull and coffee, though that would be kind of fun. My name is Hannah Acosta, and I am the manager of the social media department here at Ugly Mug. Again, we're excited to be sharing with you all our best kept secret. And it is this: how to create 3 months of Facebook and Instagram content in just one singular day. And you might be thinking, they're professionals. They really know what they're doing. Of course, this comes naturally and easy for them. And that may be true. We might be a little bit more efficient. I think we may even be able to do this a little bit quicker than 8 hours in a day. And our goal is for you to get to that point too. But today we're going to walk through the frameworks and the processes and the tools that we use in order to accomplish that. Join me today. I have my Seriously Ride or Die team, Tim Johnson and Abby Thomas. We've also got Alex Bjork. He is behind the scenes and he's going to be answering comments and your questions, or if you want to DM us on Facebook or on Instagram or comments on YouTube, he'll make sure that you get responded to there. We are so excited. So say hello to Alex behind the scenes in the comments too. Abby and Tim, I have one quick question for you before we get started. What is your favorite summer activity?
That's tough. Probably just for me at least, and I've said this before, honestly, just hang out with my friends, just guys being dudes.
Guys being dudes. Love that. Abby, what about you?
Right off the top of my head, haven't got to do it a lot this summer, and Hannah, I feel like yours is probably the same. It's being that you just got a new boat, but I love like a good lake day with my friends. That's
Yes.
my favorite.
We love a lake day. We love a beach trip. Yes, my husband and I just bought a boat. We're very fortunate and blessed to have been able to do that, and we're loving taking our friends out. Here in Raleigh, we go to Jordan Lake. We're hoping to take it to the coast, but we need some more practice because we are new boat owners. So if you are a boater or a boat owner or you've owned a boat for many years, please drop your tips, tricks, and comments all in the comment section below because I need all of the help I can get. My husband, very good at it naturally. Me, we made a little bit of a scene at the boat launch a couple weeks ago, and I'm still personally, my ego is still recovering. But anyway, Abby and Tim are the people that help the Hot Mess Express, which is me, keep moving in the right direction. And they work with a bunch of private clients through our company, Ugly Mug Marketing, helping them reach their goals and helping them use Facebook to make their money business by setting goals, running Facebook ads, and more importantly, developing really, really good quality content that we can share with our prospective customers and followers across our Instagram and Facebook platforms. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. And I'm going to apologize in advance. There's birds outside this window, y'all, and they're chirping, and I can't do anything about it. So I'm just going to try and talk over the birds this morning. So here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about 3 key areas. Number 1 is planning. We're going to dive into content categories and a calendar template for you to be able to follow. Then Abby is going to talk to us about creating. She's going to dive into a little bit about our copywriting format that we utilize for all of our clients when we're putting together their strategy or their content for every single month. And then she's going to also dive into a little bit on creating graphics and how to use Canva. And then Tim is going to wrap us up today with implementing. So he's going to talk to us about the difference between Meta Business Suite, Creator Studio. Y'all, it's so confusing out there. Everything is changing every single day. And so Tim's going to show us a few key features and why each can be helpful for you as you're planning and scheduling your content out over the course of these next 3 months. So let's dive right into the planning. Part 1. So I get asked this a lot, and I think Abby and Tim, you probably get asked this a lot too. People are like, how often should we post? So-and-so down the road is posting 7 times a day or 7 times a week, or they're posting twice a day, or they're doing this, or what's the best time to post? If you're just getting started and you're new to your biz and you're wearing all of the hats, you're the photographer, you're the accountant, you're the CEO of your company, and you're the content creator, it's a lot, okay? And so we have to be realistic and we have to set goals. And my biggest piece of advice when you're just starting out and trying to determine what works best for me, just be consistent. If you can only post twice a day or twice a week, that's okay. Just be consistent. Our rule of thumb here is consistency creates miracles. You can always scale up or scale down, but set a realistic goal for how often you can show up for your people, whether that's just on Instagram stories or showing up on your actual Instagram feed or showing up on Reels. Set that realistic goal. How often do you want to post? Is it 1 time per week, 2 times, 3 times? Again, think about what is realistic for you. That's step 1 when it comes to figuring out how often you're going to post. Now, step 2 of this planning process is brainstorming your different categories. What the heck are you going to post? This is the part that feels the most overwhelming for people when they're first diving into content creation for their business. They know what's important for their business, right? But it's really hard for them to actually speak to their target audience, or it's really hard for them to figure out what they should be posting for their business. So here are a few different categories that we fall back on for our clients in order to help them really clearly see, okay, yeah, I can create some posts around that or around this other topic. Example number one is what upcoming events are happening in this quarter. So for us right now, we're in the last week or heading into that last week of June, right? So we're planning July, August, September. That feels really overwhelming. But think about it from the perspective, what upcoming events are happening this quarter? Are there any holidays that we want to celebrate or that we want to promote or that we want to run specials about or we want to run specials for or around? Guys,
It's Friday.
More coffee. But are there events that are happening in this quarter that the public is going to be invited to that we want to make sure that we're promoting in advance? A couple examples of this is 4th of July, one of our clients, Security Sporting Goods. One thing that we're running right now is tubes. They sell tubes or towables that you can tow on the back of your boat. And that's huge for 4th of July weekend. Everyone is taking their boat out in central Louisiana. Anyone and everyone who has a boat, they're heading to Kincaid Lake, they're heading to Toledo Bend, and they're going boating, and they need tubes, they need water skis, they need wakeboards to be able to go out and enjoy the weekend. So that's something that we want to create promotions around and stir up some business around as well. Next example is how can you relate to your customers? So what is content that's relative to our business, but that really speaks and connects to our customers? So a little bit of a this or that, or introducing our team, and not just talking about what the team does for our business, but talking about what makes this person who they are. So for me, my Meet the Team post might say, this is Hannah. She loves boating. She's a dog mom. Her favorite brand is Lululemon. I don't know. Like, it might just be all of these personal things. And then maybe that last sentence says, you know, she's our social media manager. If you never need help with social media, she's your gal. She's going to be your go-to girl. Leading with those personal pieces of information, that's what's going to build that connection and relate to your customers. The this or that post, I loved our example for this. Little Cakes with Big Attitude is another one of our clients in Alexandria, Louisiana. And they did a post about this or that, iced coffee versus hot coffee during the summer. And it was so fun to be able to see everyone's responses. So many people like, oh, yes, iced coffee for sure. Now, for me personally, Abby and Tim, I don't know about you, I'm just not a big iced coffee girl. Like, it could be 99 degrees outside and 102% humidity, and I'm still drinking a hot coffee. Is that you, Tim?
The problem with me is I have no self-control. So if I get iced coffee, I'm downing it in like a minute and then it's all gone. So I have to get hot coffee to pace myself.
I feel like nothing just really like a perfect hot cup of coffee in the morning. Like, there's just nothing like it. So that's like my go-to, especially in the mornings. Sometimes I'll get an iced coffee, but it's very rare.
Yeah, see, people have opinions on this, guys. And so that this or that post was a great way for us to be able to relate to the customers at Little Cakes. Real quickly, these last two is how can you educate your audience? Is there behind the scenes videos that you could provide? So with the example of Little Cakes with Big Attitude, they're a coffee shop and bakery showing a little bit of behind the scenes of how to use the espresso machine, how they make a latte, how they do beautiful latte art. That could be a really fun way to educate your audience and let them in on the behind the scenes of your day-to-day business. Also, did you know posts? We just did one of these for our client Glaston, etc. Last week. Alex actually scheduled this. It was about all of the different types of window tint that are available. Guys, there's ceramic window tint, there's regular film window tint, there's pinnacle window tint, there's all kinds of different types of tint, and people don't realize that. They all obviously have very different price points as well, but just information to educate our audience. And then the last one is, how can you sell to your audience? How is it that we can take them from going through the natural progression of stranger to friend on Facebook and nurturing that friendship to taking them to customer? It might be showing reviews or doing product or service videos, highlighting testimonials from previous customers. People don't buy from us. People buy from other people. They buy from other people that look like them, people that are in same seasons of life as them. And when I say people that look like them, I mean maybe other moms, maybe other dads, maybe other entrepreneurs, maybe other people that are really passionate about cars or trucks or boating. those are the things that we can utilize in our business, which would be our current customers, in order to sell to the low-hanging fruit, the people who are already our friends on our social media pages. Okay, I see Carol said Abby is a little hard to hear. So Abby, whenever it's your turn, speak up a little.
Okay, sounds good. All right, thank you.
Okay, step 3 of the planning process is actually taking these different categories and mapping them out on your calendar, determining what your key categories are going to be for the month of July, what your key categories are going to be for the month of August, and then what your key categories are going to be for the month of September. Okay, Carol said better, thanks. No problem. Definitely let us know if you have any problems hearing us or seeing content or anything like that. So we're going to map those pieces of content out. So we're going to say, hey, you know what? In the month of July, we're going to focus on holidays and events, how we can relate to our customers, and selling to our audience. Those are going to be our 3 categories. And then we're going to look at and say, hey, we've got 4 Mondays, we've got 4 Wednesdays, but we've got 5 Fridays. So that's the total number of pieces of content I need in each one of those categories. And looking at it from this perspective really just makes it a whole lot less intimidating. So on the example that you see here, this was actually for April and May, you can see how we've just mapped it out. We're not in the process of actually creating any of the content yet. We're simply planning. And so when you're thinking about your action items after you watch this webinar, this is going to be step 1. You're going to go into full planning mode. You're going to determine what your different categories are for your business. And then you're going to look at the next following months. You're going to say Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm going to post 3 times a week. That's my goal. But maybe you're in a position where you're like, that's really intimidating. And that's really time consuming right now. I can only commit to posting 2 times a week, or maybe it's once a week. And so then you would map it out based on the days that you want to show up for your people and the categories that you've selected for your business. So I've got some of that mapped out here as an example. And in our free guide, I'm going to have Alex, if you're tuning in, Alex, and I know it's a little delayed, but Alex, if you can drop the link to our free planning guide. In this guide, we are going to give you a free layout of how to map out your categories, where you can write out your posts. And in the guide, gosh, guys, I'm blanking on what other cool things are in this guide. But yes, I see Alex just dropped that in the comments below. So if you click on that link, go to the landing page there, type in your name and your email address super quick. Then you're going to get access to this free PDF guide with a template for creating all of your content. Abby has got a Canva tutorial video where she's walking through all of her favorite features in Canva for your graphic design needs, all kinds of other fun goodies that we're going to talk about here in just a minute. But here's a real life application of taking this planning and putting it into place for a business. So my example is going to be our friends over at Glass 10, etc. They have been an Ugly Mug marketing client for probably 3.5 years now, which is really cool. We've been working with Robert and Kenny for a super long time, and we've developed this template that works super well for their business and has proved to be very fruitful in their business. And we're not just creating content to create it, we're creating meaningful content that their audience wants to see, and that's converting friends on Facebook into customers and customers into evangelists, people who are going to rant and rave about our business, who are going to be willing to leave a review and do those testimonials. So let's dive into this example. Client name, Glass 10, etc. Max commitment of time. This takes me 2 hours to create 1 month of content. So if you multiply that out, if I get really efficient, I could probably do 3 months of content in about 6 hours or less. The goal for them is to post 3 times a week and to increase revenue in their specific target areas each month. So we have that mapped out separately of what are the key areas of focus. Do we want to focus on window tint? Do we want to focus on audio? Do we want to focus on lift kits and wheels? We have that mapped out separately, and then that helps us determine these themes. So their themes are recent work, featured service, a spotlight product, and financing. Those are the things that we want to hit on literally every single month. So for recent work, that has everything to do with developing social proof. showing that, hey, other Jeeps come here and get lift kits and get winches put on. Hey, other boats come here and they get stereo systems. We want them to actually see the work because it builds trust with those potential customers. Hey, I have a truck and I need a lift kit, and I have a Toyota Tundra and it looks like they worked on a Tundra, and that's awesome. Or, hey, I need a winch put on the front of my Jeep, and look, they worked on a Jeep recently. It looks like I can trust them. That customer looks really happy. They're giving the thumbs up in that photo, right? So we highlight the recent work that's come out of the shop in the last month. Then we dive into featured service. So for them, a lot of people don't know that not only do they do window tinting, but they also offer audio services, or they just recently built a storm tracker truck for the KALB, which is the local television and news station in Alexandria, which was so cool because people probably didn't know they could put a Doppler system in a car. They probably didn't know that they could put this little R2-D2 looking camera on the top of a vehicle. Like, they had all of these extra things that we could highlight.
That et cetera really covers a lot of things, apparently.
They used to say that, and I was like, that's kind of cheesy, but they're like, we take et cetera seriously at Glasston. And I'm like, they really do know. And so that's our opportunity each month to highlight some of those services that people might not know that they offer. Then we come in with some educational content. So that's where those posts about the different types of window tint come into play. If I was a boutique, maybe I would talk about different types of material, how to best iron, how to best clean, how to best steam different pieces of clothing. Those are different types of educational content that's still relevant to your business and that your followers are just going to eat up. They're going to love that. It's going to be helpful to them. Then the last one is financing. We always try to put some level of financing opportunity information into the month as well, so that we can share that information and let people know, hey, you don't have to have the money up front. You can finance a portion of it. Here's the rates. Here's where you can apply. So Abby, if you can go to the next slide. Here you can see examples of these types of content. So in the recent work post here on the far left, you can see that we're spotlighting a work truck that they worked on. And we've got a series of 5 different photos that I think I actually shot these on my iPhone, which is another thing, y'all. You do not need professional photography. You have the budget for professional photography. That's great. Utilize that budget. Hire someone. Get some candid shots. Get some headshots of your team. But an iPhone photo, y'all, these things shoot in 4K now. They take really high quality images. And so that was all done on my iPhone, edited on my iPhone. And so we were just highlighting some different aspects of that project. The middle post is all about how it's bug season, how you're driving down the highway. You're driving down Highway 28 between Leesville and Alexandria, or you're driving down 49. I was going to say 40. That's in Raleigh. 49. And you're getting bugs all over your car. Here's something that you can do to actually protect your vehicle and make it easy to just wipe those bugs away. And then the last one is spotlighting a service that they offer, which is cat skin leather seats. If you have cloth seats in your car, you can much more affordably get leather seats in your car instead of buying a whole new vehicle. Just go and get some custom cat skin leather seats installed at Glasston, etc. So highlighting that as well. Again, categories are everything. Planning and out, being intentional about thinking, is this going to help me make more money? Is this post going to help me reach my goal? Is this post going to help me take that person who might be a stranger and needs to know about my business, turn them into a friend so I can develop that friendship with them, and then ultimately help me turn them into a customer? So once we've got that all planned out, we're going to start the creation process. This is when we actually start. If you're creative or you're really good at copywriting, this is where we start jumping into that. And I'm going to let our in-house Canva design expert, Abby, take it away. She hates when I call her that, but you can't run from it. I'm going to let Abby take it away for part 2 of our 3-step framework for creating 3 months of content in one day. Take it away, Abby.
Awesome. All right. I feel like I should do a little bit of a sound check before I dive right into it. So if somebody can just give me a thumbs up and make sure that y'all can hear me good, that would be awesome. All right. So like Hannah said, we're diving into the creation process now, and there are 2 steps to this process. There's a copywriting phase, and then there's the graphic design phase. Doesn't really matter which one you do it first. Today, we're going to talk about copywriting first. Personally, I like to make the graphics first and kind of get inspired from that to write my copy. But here we go. We're just going to dive in today. For the copywriting process, we love to use Google Docs. So why do we like to use Google Docs? One, it automatically saves your stuff as you're typing it. You don't have to really think about like, oh, I got to go in and save it. If I exit out, like, oh, I accidentally lost it. Another great thing about Google Docs is that you can share it with your clients really easily. You can share it with your teammates really easily if they want to go in and add to it. They can do that as well, or maybe just grammar check you real quick before you go in and post something. So when we are creating our strategy for the months, we go into Google Docs, and there's a few things we do to have a really nice layout of our strategy where it's super organized. So when we go into Facebook later, it's really easy to go in there and schedule it all out efficiently. So first of all, what we're going to do is we are going to put our strategy month at the top of our document. And we are going to create this as a header. So right here at the top of the bar, you'll see where it says normal text. If you click on that drop down arrow, you can click header and create your header where you're going to put your month. Next, you're going to come back later after you create your graphics and include that. Then you're going to add a title, and that is going to be your post date. And then you're going to write your corresponding copy. And as you do that, as you add your titles and your headers and you're doing these things, it's going to take all those things and put it over here on the side into a navigation bar. So you can easily scroll through and navigate your strategy. So if you're like, oh, what did I have scheduled for July 6th that I was going to post? Instead of having to scroll through your whole strategy, you can go over here to the navigation bar and click on July 6th and easily navigate that. And like I said, behind this nice little sticker I have here that says strategy month, there is a button that says share, where you can email it to your teammates. You can share it, copy the link to the strategy, and send it to people. So that is about it for the copywriting process. Now I'm going to share my screen with y'all, and we're going to kind of get into the graphic design phase, which is my personal favorite. So just give me 2 seconds and we'll be right there.
Yeah, and while Abby is pulling that up, this template for copywriting and laying out all of your content, this is one of the tools that is also going to be available in that freebie. Again, so if you are interested in receiving that, click on the link. Alex, if you want to drop the link in there, again, there is a link available for you to be able to give us your name and your email address, and then you'll get access to that PDF and that really great template. We've already got it mapped out for the next 3 months for y'all, so it'll be easy to just kind of go in there and plug away, and then you can make a copy of that for the following 3 months. But we're getting you set up nice and good for Q3, y'all.
Awesome. All right. So now let's just say you've gotten into Canva, you logged in, and you decided, I'm going to make an Instagram post. This is where I'm starting. And you're like, okay, but I do not have an artistic or creative bone in my body. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to use Canva. I'm going to show you how to use it really easy and efficiently to make really beautiful graphics that aren't going to take up a lot of time. So first of all, we are going to look over here at this little navigation bar on the side. You'll see that you can search for different templates. There's some where it'll populate your recently used templates. You can search for things that are coming up like July 4th. Maybe somebody's birthday is coming up and you want to give them a birthday shout out, and really anything. You can search here and they have really great templates to start with, and you can change it to whatever you like in your brand colors. Use your personal fonts and really customize it to fit your business's brand. Here you can go to elements. This is where you can include shapes, stickers, anything that you might want to add to your graphic. And another fun thing about elements on Canva is that a lot of them you can customize the colors of even the elements. So that's really cool. So like, I don't know if this dog is customizable. This is probably one that's not customizable, but different ones like you can change the color of. So like you can go up here and change the color of this circle to maybe this pink that we like to use right here. And we'll come back to the whole color button later because there's a lot of fun things you can do there too. Next, you can upload pictures. You can upload your logo. There's lots of things you can do here. Upload videos. And here is where you can search for fonts, add headings, subheadings, body text. And something really cool about the font selection on Canva is, first of all, there's a million fonts. You can change the colors of them, add effects to them, and whatever you like. But if your company's particular font isn't on Canva, you can go and upload it and add it to your brand kit. So if I exit out of here and kind of back
And
up
I
a
will
little
say,
bit.
I'll double down. There are a lot of fonts. Sometimes I get lost in the fonts. I'll just sit there for 15 minutes. looking
And
at
the
the
nice thing about Canva is, at least if there is so many fonts, at least they put the recently used ones right
That's
here.
right. Yeah, exactly.
I know that's always helpful because I'm like, wait, I used like a calligraphy looking font and I cannot remember the name of it. It'll be there at the top for you.
Right. So you can upload your company's fonts and add it to your brand kit, which is really nice. You can even add effects to fonts. We're just going to use this right here as an example. So like you can add, I don't know how to say this. I think it's called splice, but like you can add that effect and then go and change the colors of it. Things like that. You can even add animations to fonts. So this is, if you're really looking to spice up your graphics, you can make the text shift into the page. You can make it burst into the page. And you can add different animations and effects to different groups of fonts as you add them onto your graphic. You can search Canva for photos if you don't have one to upload, just to see what they have. You can add audio, and they even have videos that you can add to your graphics and different backgrounds. And that's about it for this navigation bar. Coming back up here to the color button. Something awesome about Canva is not only can you upload your fonts and add them to your brand kits, but you can save your colors that your businesses use to your brand kit as well, so you don't have to constantly search for them. So for example, you'll see that we have the Ugly Mug colors all saved here. And that's really about it. We're going to go in right quick and just kind of walk through how to really build these out and put these all these buttons, I guess, that are in Canva into action and all their fun things. So today is National Bring Your Dog to Work Day. So we are going to say, let's pretend like, oh, it's National Bring Your Dog to Work Day. You told all your coworkers that it was happening today, but you want to put a post out and remind them. So we are going to search Dog Day in the templates, and we're just going to scroll down. And I kind of like this one, but it's not in my brand's colors, and it's not my brand's font, and it doesn't have my logo on it. Let's customize it to fit our brand. So the first thing,
can you make it a little bigger? Like down there at the bottom, it says 27. It's at 27%. Can you bump it up in size a little bit?
Yeah. Oops, that's probably a little too much.
There we go.
Good. Okay. Awesome. All right. So here we are. This does not necessarily fit. I'm gonna make it a little smaller. The brand colors, it doesn't have the right font on here, so we're going to customize it to look like an Ugly Mug graphic. So we are going to change the background color, and I'm going to use the colors in my brand kit. I think I'm going to go with, let's do this blue, and see this element right here, this circle, I'm going to change the color of it as well. And I think I'm going to change it to this yellow. And you can go over here and change the transparency of elements. So I'm going to just go ahead and put that all the way back up. And let's see, I might change this around again. But now I'm going to take this font, it's grouped together, and you can go to these three little dots over here and ungroup your fonts if they're grouped when you click on a template. And then I'm going to just change this font to one that we use at Ugly Mug a lot. So I think I'm going to change this to the I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's
I think Babus. I don't know. That's how I always say it.
I always say that too. I call it babe.
I'm going to use the babe font, and then I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to change this date up here that they have to the 24th of June 2022. Let's see. Right, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. And then I'm also just going to change the colors because this white is a little bit hard to see. So we're going to change it to this gray that we like to use. And then the last thing I think we need to do to this graphic is quickly just add our logo. I guess I'll use this white one maybe. That would be fun. And I'm going to size it to where it fits up here. I might move all this down a little bit so it kind of fits better. But now you have just a nice branded graphic, and it was super quick and easy to make. And now everybody is going to remember to bring their dog to work today.
And look how cute that dog is.
Right? It's a really cute graphic, and it was really fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say the dog looks a little bit like the one Abby was showing us beforehand.
Oh my gosh, it does kind of look like my dog. Just a little bit. Maybe that's why I picked it. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here quickly, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. But you can go and download your graphics and then go and put them in your strategy, and you're ready to roll into the implementation phase.
Yeah, so some of what Abby talked about today, I know we're like quickly showing you some of these features in Canva. If you're like, I'm not gonna remember this, you can A, watch the replay, but B, you can also download our free guide on how to create 3 months of content in one day. Again, we're gonna have that content calendar laid out for you to be able to plug in all of your awesome content. Abby also has a tutorial video in there where she's walking through some additional features within Canva. And I know that y'all aren't going to want to miss out on that either. So make sure you drop your contact information and the link provided in the comments section by Alex, again, who's our other coordinator, who's helping us behind the scenes today. And now, Tim, teach us about implementation. Really the most rewarding part, right?
Absolutely. Definitely the most rewarding because you kind of get to see all your hard work put into action. And honestly, it's probably the easiest part because at this point, you've done all the hard work. You've done all the thinking you need to do, really. You've kind of planned everything out. You're all set. All I have to do is get it up on Facebook. So typically, a lot of people, what they might think would be is just on whatever day you want to post it, you would log into your Facebook account and post it. But there is a much easier way to do it. So you can basically schedule things out, and there's 2 ways to do it, really. So there's one thing called Meta Business Suite. Sorry, I forgot. They're not Facebook anymore. Business Suite, and then there's also something called Creator Studio. So I'm going to walk you guys through both of those. We're going to start with Meta Business Suite, just because 1, it's the easiest to use, like in Access, because you get there right from your Facebook page, and then 2, it's honestly just, I don't know, my preferred way of doing it. I don't love Creator Studio, but it's an option. So let me share my screen real quick. Let's see. And Abby, you may have to toss that up there.
Yep. Gotcha.
Cool.
Cool.
Sorry, I just wanted to. All right. So I'm using our Ugly Mug page as the example here. So all you do is go to Facebook, go to your business page. And then once you get here, over here on this left-hand side, you're going to click, well, 1, you could click here. In fact, we'll just do that. We'll click Meta Business Suite, and that's going to load up a new page. And this is the actual business suite. So like we said, you've made all the content you need to make. You're ready to schedule it out. So all you need to do is go here. You can go straight from the like the home page for the Meta Business Suite, or you can go down here to post in stories to create your post and schedule everything out. So to do it, all you're going to do is click Create Posts, and it's going to bring you this little page once it loads. There we go. And it has this nice little preview little box here so you can see what the post looks like as you're creating it. It's really handy. So all you do is you're going to go in, you're going to add your photo. So I've already got some stuff pre-planned here. You're going to add your photo for your posts. And again, like I said, it has your little preview here. And then we've got our little Word document with all of our contents ready to go right here. So all you're going to do is copy and paste that into the text box. It's that easy. So once you're done with that, if you wanted to post it this like right at this moment, all you have to do is click publish now, and then it's going to go out, or actually publish down here. It'll go out. Now, if you're, I guess, planning this out for next week or just like planning out your full month schedule, you're going to click the schedule option right here. And when you do that, there's going to be a little box down here that's going to let you pick the date and the time that you want it to go out. So Abby, I believe you said this one goes out on the 30th. Is that right?
Yes.
What time in the morning is usually post these out, or afternoon?
Put them out at 10.
10. All right. And so to do that, change the time, you just select each one and then type in the number you want. And then for AM or PM, you just type A or P. So AM, PM, it's that easy. It also has this optimal times option, like say if you don't really know when you want to post it, or maybe you just don't really care when you post it. If you select optimal times, again, you pick the date, and then it'll give you different days and times that you could post it. And these optimal times are really going to be, if you can hover over this, to give you the information, but it's basically just recommending when Facebook would recommend you post it based on when your users were most active in the last week. So that's an option if you don't really know when your users are most active, or if you don't really have time in particular that you want, that's definitely an option. But we're just going to go with 10 a.m. So we'll save that. And you could also save as a draft. Maybe if you're not sure that you want to post it just yet, or if maybe you want to get some feedback from somebody else first, save it as draft. They can go back in and then you can post it later. But I think that one's ready. So we'll go ahead and schedule that out. Okay, then once you do that, it brings up this nice little calendar thing. And here on Thursday the 30th, you can see it's ready to post. I think Abby may have already scheduled it out, so that's why it's appeared a few different times here. And one cool thing is you can also, in fact, let me go back. You can also schedule it to Facebook and Instagram at the same time. So if your Facebook and your Instagram accounts are linked, you can do both. So to do that, all you do is click this drop-down menu and select both. And then you can, again, I'll just do the same thing again here.
Which is really a fun feature, because that used to be a huge downfall of Instagram for a lot of businesses, was that you couldn't schedule out your content in advance. Mm-hmm. And I find that a lot of people don't realize that there are scheduling features on Facebook, let alone scheduling features that allow you to also cross-post your content on Instagram. And people might feel overwhelmed, like, oh, I have to keep up with Facebook and Instagram. Well, this is a way for you to be able to cross-post your content and do it all one time, nice and easy, but you still have a really beautiful looking Instagram feed while also still sharing that same content, maybe formatted a little differently, which I'm sure Tim's going to talk about here in just a second, posting that on both platforms.
Exactly, yeah. And so I'm glad Jack said that, because I was about to lead into that. If you wanted to have slightly different copy or something like that, for your Facebook and Instagram ones, all you have to do is select this option here to customize posts for Facebook and Instagram. And then you have two different tabs. So you go here, you customize your copy for Facebook, and then you go here, customize your copy for Instagram. Now, for some reason, the preview is not available for Instagram. Typically it is. It could just be a little glitch or something. I'm sure if I refresh the page, or if we did this later in the afternoon, it would be available, but that happens sometimes, but it's all right. So yeah, that's really handy to have. And then I won't schedule it out again, because I would just have post 4 times on the same day.
It's also helpful for hashtags too.
Yes, definitely. Because typically you won't use hashtags on Facebook, or maybe typically you'll include a link on Facebook, but on Instagram you can't have links. So it's really helpful for things like that, because each platform has its own little, what's the word?
Quirks?
Yeah, quirks. We can use quirks. That's good. Okay, so like I said, once you get it scheduled out, it brings you this calendar, and this calendar is really helpful because, one, you can have it on the full week if you're just doing it week by week, or if you're doing it for the full month, it has that option, and you can kind of see once it loads, you can see what posts you have already scheduled. You can also see different holidays that are coming up that you might want to include. So maybe you see that International Joke Day is next Friday. So you can have some jokes ready. Maybe you want to post some jokes that day. So it'd be a lot of fun to do something like that. It's also helpful because maybe you're looking at it and you see, oh, wait, last Sunday was Father's Day. I forgot. Did we post anything? Probably not, because I don't see anything listed here. Because I guess that's one also useful feature about this, is you can see when all of your posts are. That's every single one of these little green things is a post, right? So let's say you did forget Father's Day. How could you forget Father's Day? Am I right? Did y'all send your dads anything for Father's Day? I think I mailed my dad a card.
Oh, Abby, you're on mute.
I said I got my dad a shirt.
Nice. Was it like a number one dad shirt?
No, that's probably what I should have got.
I had
Well,
I had a nice little FaceTime call with my dad. I was in Asheville. We weren't together. He's in Michigan. I was like, you know what? Let's just have a nice little chat. But my brother did take him out to dinner, so now he's probably the favorite child.
nice. He went up to you. So let's say you did forget. Well, the good thing is there's a way you can't go back in time to post, but there's a way to backdate something. And backdating is basically just posting it to where it looks like it was posted on that day, but you're doing it past the day, basically. So you can't do that through Business Suite here, but that's where Creator Studio comes into play. So I'll switch tabs over here. And to get to Creator Studio, all you do is go to business.facebook.com/Creator Studio. There's not really a way to get to it or access it from your business page. You do have to go directly to it. Or if you just Google Facebook Creator Studio, it'll probably be the first one that comes up. So it's a fairly similar setup. It's the same kind of process to actually make the post. And you can schedule stuff out through this platform as well. Whichever one you want, it's kind of up to you. I just kind of prefer the Business Suite, unless I need to backdate something, obviously. Anyway, so to backdate something, all you're going to do is select right here, Create New, the green button, and then Create Post. And then a little window is going to pop up for your new post. Let's see. Oh, wait. So we're doing Happy Father's Day. Nothing makes me more nervous than typing in front of people.
I know, right? I think last time we did this webinar, we were talking about how fast people can type too,
Mm-hmm.
right? We were talking about speed racing or racing. I can't remember. Maybe not. Maybe I just made that up. But did anyone else take typewriting classes when you were in elementary school or when you were in middle school or whatever? Tell us in the comments. What's your words?
Let us know if you took Mavis Beacon. That's the one we used. Shout out to Mavis Beacon. All right. So same thing here. You could just copy paste your copy here, but obviously I just typed out Happy Father's Day. Select add photo and then select the photo you want. We've got it uploaded here. And then you can tag the location if you want. There's a few other things. If you include a link, you can have a link preview. Distribution settings, you don't necessarily have to worry about that, but if you wanted it to stop going out to your followers' newsfeed on a certain day at a certain time, you could do that from here. Same with the targeting. If you wanted to target specific followers, you could do that from here. So once you have it done, again, if you wanted to publish it right this minute, you could, but it would go out on June 24th, and that's not Father's Day. So instead, you're going to click this little arrow to the right. The drop down is going to come up. You have your schedule post option and save as draft, just like on Business Suite. But there's also this handy third option, backdating it. So once you do that, a little box will pull up. And just like for scheduling stuff out, it's got a date and time option. So it was Sunday the 19th. And we're going to post that one at 10. Well, we're not going to do 10 a.m. We're going to do 5 a.m. Because if y'all's dads are like my dad's, he's up at 5 a.m. on the weekend.
I don't remember the last time I saw 5 a.m. Not a morning person.
Not saying for my dad. I'll tell you, he sticks to that schedule every day. It doesn't matter. Even when he's off, he takes a week or two off at the end of the year. He's still getting up 5 a.m.
Wow. A true hero.
Definitely.
Abby's shaking her head like, couldn't be me.
So once you get your date and your time selected, there's this option here to hide from newsfeed. So what this option does, basically, if you leave it unchecked, the post will go out right now. So it'll show up in your followers' newsfeed, but the date on it will say June 19th. So it won't look like it was posted today, but it will still, be seen today. Now, if you select hide from newsfeed, it won't go out to your followers' newsfeeds today. So it just won't show up on a newsfeed really at all, but it'll still be on your profile, and it'll still be labeled, June 19th, and nobody will be any wiser. They won't know what's up, basically. So we'll click save. And once you do that, you'll know you did it correctly because it has the backdate option here on the button instead of publish. And you just click backdate, and it'll take a second to publish here. And then I always like to kind of refresh the page just to make sure
that it actually went out.
Yeah, exactly. And then
we just have one comment in a minute. They wanted to know how to get to Creator Studio, if you could show them again.
Okay, yeah, I can do that right after this.
Yeah.
So now to double, triple check that it actually published, we're going to go to the Publish tab right here, and that'll load up. And then right here, published today, 11:49. But if we view the post, it has June 19th at 5 a.m. right there. So no one's going to know. And it looks like we actually made the post on Father's Day. All right. So to actually get to Creator Studio, I'll show you all the easiest way first. You just open up Google and then you type in Facebook Creator Studio, hit enter, and then it's going to be this first one right here. Another option would be just go to Facebook, or not Facebook, business.facebook.com/Creator Studio, and then it autofills for me, and then it'll just go straight there for you. So hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, that's, you've done all the content creation. That's going to be how you implement everything. It's really that easy.
I'm laughing right now. Someone commented, they said they tried to teach me typing in elementary, but it took me until Job Corps to get serious. I'm like, yeah, my husband always talks about too. They had like this cover that they would put over your hands too while you were typing, so you couldn't look down and see what letters you were on. I'm like, oh my gosh, they were like really taking it seriously over there at in Metro Detroit schools where my husband went to elementary school.
We weren't that serious in rural Louisiana schools.
Awesome. So like Tim said, that is the final step. So you've planned out your content, you've determined what your categories are going to be. You've gone and actually created your content. You've written your copy. You've built out beautiful images using Canva templates, or maybe you're very creative yourself and you just build them from scratch, which Abby is very talented because I know a lot of her stuff she actually does from scratch. So those, and then finally you get to implement it, right? So planning, creating, and then implementing phase. So actually going into Creator Studio, backdating any posts that you may have missed, or just going into Meta Business Suite and going in and scheduling out future posts for these next 3 months, which are July, August, and September.
That's crazy. We're already in July.
I know. I feel like everything is flying by. I feel like this week has flown by even. Very much looking forward to a little bit of a long weekend, everyone, for 4th of July. But here I know, okay, well, speaking of 4th of July, maybe you're like, Hannah, I watched this webinar today. It was great, but I'm probably not going to jump into anything until next week. And that's okay. Enjoy your break, y'all. Have some time with your family. Do a little barbecuing. But before you do that, I need you to download this because it's going to help you tremendously when you do pick that date on your calendar to plan out all of your content. So again, you might be watching this webinar and you're like, now what? Tim, tell us a little bit about our free starter pack and all of the different tools that are included.
Sure. So if you're like, now what? We've got you covered. So we've got the content day agenda. What this is basically is an outline for exactly what you need to do and exactly when you need to do it. So if you don't know where to start, we got you. And you can kind of make adjustments as you go. Maybe once you start getting the hang of it, maybe you learn, oh, well, maybe I want to do the graphics first, or maybe I want to start with, something else. So you can kind of move that around yourself. And then maybe you get even more efficient than us and you do 3 months of content in like 2 hours. That would be wild. Hit me up if you do, because then I need your tips and tricks.
I know. I'm like, then do you want a job?
And then so from there, like what and when you're doing. So maybe you need some ideas. We've got you covered there too. We've got 7 different categories and some samples that you can use and to kind of help give you some ideas. So that's going to help you there. I mean, once you kind of have all your ideas laid out, we've got a planning calendar. So that way you can actually sit down and plan out when you want everything to go out. Maybe you want to look at the calendar on Facebook on Business Suite first to write out any holidays. And that can kind of help you, and you can kind of maybe work backwards. You plan out everything first and then go back and create all your content. But either way, we've got it, and you can plan it out yourself, and that way you can be super organized. And once you do that, or we've also got the content document templates. That's where you're going to go in and write out everything and be even more organized. I'll tell you what, the more I grow up, the more I realize organization is the name of the game.
I know. Hello, there's a show on Netflix called The Home Edit. And it's all about organizing. Organizing is so important.
Yep. Y'all should see my calendar. It is color coordinated. I've got blocks. It's perfect. I could pull it up right now if you want proof, but let me know in the comments. After that, we've also got a nice little Canva tutorial with Abby. So you'll get to learn from our graphics expert, as Hannah called her. And she really is the expert. She's really great at doing the graphics. Anytime you see graphics on our social media or anything like that, it was probably Abby. So we've got it all for you. Every single base is covered.
Yep. Exactly. It's all the tools that you need when you're sitting down on that day one and you're like, wait, what? What do I do again? What website do I go to? How do I get to Creator Studio? Where do I go? How do I lay out my content? Y'all, everything is in this starter pack. And I see Alex just dropped in the link to go and download this, again, free PDF starter pack. No strings attached, y'all. No strings attached. We just want to make sure that you have the tools, the tips, the tricks, the links, everything that you need in order to create a successful content calendar for this Q3 that we're about to enter into, which is crazy, y'all. We're halfway through 2022. Is your business on track to reach your goals? And are you using social media to help you reach your goals? This is all going to help you do just that. The selling, the building the relationships, connecting with your customers. That's what this is all about and what it's all. And it's important to be present on social for your customers. And I guess just really quickly too, on that topic, if your customers are not hanging out on social media, maybe you don't need to be hanging out on social media. It's really important to identify who your target customers are and are they spending time on Facebook or are they on Instagram or are they on both or are they on LinkedIn? This same type of strategy and the content calendars and the Canva tutorials, those are still going to be helpful for you whether your people are hanging out on LinkedIn or they're hanging out on Facebook. So those specific pieces of this starter pack are still going to be useful for you even if your people aren't hanging out on Facebook or on Instagram. So be thinking about that too. Hey, where are my people? Where do I need to be investing my time? Because your time is your greatest resource, right? And so that's why we were like, how can we teach people how to do this in just one day? For 3 months worth of content, guys, you really you cannot beat it. Be intentional about setting that date on your calendar, and you will have a great third quarter. I can promise you that. Guys, any last remarks, comments, things that they should know about? If anyone has questions here, we've still got about 4 minutes left. Again, that link for the free guide is there in the comments below. We also have a QR code if you're watching on your computer and want to go there via your cell phone. This is what the form looks like. Again, just first name, last name, and email address is all we need from you, and you'll be able to click download and get that free PDF. If anyone has any questions about just Facebook in general, Instagram in general, anything about how we structure our days around content creation days for us, feel free to drop those in the comments below and we'll answer those here in real time. We'll give you guys just a couple minutes to fill in any questions. Let's see here. Yvette said, every time I watch your webinars or come to the in-person events with y'all, I get re-energized for my social media. Thank y'all. Yvette, thanks so much for being here. I actually think Yvette was at our breakfast club too. I think that was the last time we saw her. She was in person at our office for our breakfast club. So thanks so much for coming to Breakfast Club. But then also thank you so much for being here today. Yvette's a realtor. There's so much great content that realtors can put together, that can be just more educational. And it doesn't have to just be like interest rates and stuff. There are other sources that you can provide to people, whether they're first-time homeowners or have had a home for a long time. Some people don't want to cut their own grass. Maybe you post about some local lawn keeping services that are in the area, people that you trust. That's something that is in alignment with owning a home, right? Or, hey, if you ever have any issues with your air conditioning system, here's a list of HVAC companies in the area that we recommend. Or if something goes wrong with plumbing, or you just need to get a drain cleared, here's who we recommend for that as well. So those are some potential educational pieces of content or just helpful pieces of content that you can create if you are a realtor. Of course, you're going to have your listings. Of course, you're going to post that picture of your clients when they've purchased their home or they've sold their home. Those are lovely to share as well. But I think some of those other helpful things that are a little outside of the box, but still relevant to your business, get creative, y'all. Brainstorm. What are other things that have to do with homeownership? And to me, I'm just yes, having a good HVAC person, having a good plumber, having a good handyman or repair person.
How to get rid of fruit flies. Abby's having that problem right now.
I am. If y'all have tips, leave them in the comments.
Exactly. Any comments on, fruit fly capturing? We need those for Abby because she's tried the spray, guys. She's tried some packet that's in a little dish. It's not working, okay? Please tell us your tips for getting rid of fruit flies.
That's so good.
Yeah. Another thing too, sorry, that I was thinking of, we had a stump in our yard that we tried to dig out ourselves, and we were like, we can't do this. We need to hire like a stump grinding company. And we were like, we have no idea who to call for this. So maybe that's another thing that if you're a realtor, information that you could provide for your clients as well on your social media pages. If you have any other questions and you're nervous to tell or to comment them, feel free to DM us as well on our Ugly Mug Marketing Facebook page or on our Instagram account as well. If you're tuning in on YouTube or watching this after the fact, still leave those comments here. We will make sure that we still reply to you. We still get alerts even after the live stream is done, and we'll make sure that we answer those for you. Again, free starter pack is only going to be available for a limited time, guys. I don't know how much longer this webinar as it exists now is going to be around. So make sure you go and download that free starter kit so that you can get your content day on the calendar and start making some really, really awesome content for your biz. Well, in true Ugly Mug fashion, guys, that's all we got. That's all I got.
Should we get Alex in here to say bye?
I know. I'm like, Alex, if you're, I don't know.
Is he still in the stream or not? I don't know.
I don't think he's in the stream anymore.
Dang.
And it's probably going to be delayed by the time he sees this. But yes, say hi to Alex in the comments. Leave us your questions in the comments. DM us. We're around and we're here to help you, y'all. We want to be a resource to you. And thanks so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. I see Carol said, great info. Thanks so much. Thanks for tuning in, Carol. Yeah, guys, we hope you have a great 4th of July, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.